The tall grasses slowly shift in the summer heat and win in a field just north of Jorix. It's early morning as light greens and yellows of strands newly grown in the spring as yet to be awakened flowers dot the horizon like splatters of paint. This field has been the site for growing wheat, a small encampment for traveling merchants, a playground for children laughing. Ostani, you yourself have been here on occasion in the harvest. And in this moment, you now find that instead of crops of pumpkins, wheat, or squash, you're harvesting lives. This, a makeshift temple and grave. The earth is stained with black and red blood soaking it. Those tall grasses lined with smatterings of blood as the earth is torn, mud mixing into a red clay and smashed under horses' hooves and soldier and raider boots. Thick plumes of smoke rise from fires scorching the fields. The groaning of dying and injured left to rot. Ostani, I want you to describe yourself along with your mentor, Keira, and what you're doing in this moment.
Ostani is younger in their form and pose, but not in their face or the look, the expression behind the eyes. They know enough of the world, but in front of Keira, it's like they know nothing. Here is someone who stands so tall, who has come from, well, what Keira has described as a fishing village, somewhere so remote and quiet. And when the mentor has stopped teaching, there's a joke that Osani would tell them. All right, fisherwoman, what do you got for me next? To continue to remind them that they are friends or of their place. And the look that Keira would return back is one of, like, how dare you say that to me? Or, you know my status, I am your mentor. But then it will be a retort back. They stand almost at the same height as Osani. Osani's a centaur, but Hera tries to gain that height with their high heels. So they said that if they were to stand at this right height, they would be the same height. They've agreed that's what they agreed when they first met. This was their friend. They didn't like each other in the beginning, and that kind of rivalry has kind of turned into good mentorship. Keira has deep brown skin, these big, beautiful, deep brown eyes, and their hair has been cut down, almost shaved down, but with a couple designs onto the sides, and they wear heavy jewelry like around their ears and piercings. They look proud, and if there was anyone who would be the symbol to lead, to be a keeper, to lead the keepers, it would be Keira. It's obvious when they turn around and look at Asani.
These are the final weeks of your fledgling years. A long process. Seemingly, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, for you, coming from the very fields that you now find yourself in, to now calling the Temple District your home. So close. Although, You could be sent off to another mission that the temple might pair you with. Your other fledglings scattering to the wind like feathers. And in this moment, Kara's eyes are sweeping the battlefield, squinting every now and then. You can see that their face already having markings of blood, not her own, but the remnants of memories of lives either saved or lost in a matter of moments. No, not lost. Woven into the tapestry of the veil, her embrace and beyond. There's a sternness in her brow that breaks ever so slightly, while stealing glances back at you, left with some kind of mixture of emotions before quickly busying themselves with an injured soldier just off to your right. A young boy looking to be barely 20, laying propped up on his elbows, groaning loudly. Helmet dangling off the side of his head as mud mars a portion from where a hammer seemed to have made contact. There's a large dent smashing the helmet firmly onto his head. His legs sprawled out beneath, looking like a discarded doll's, broken and haphazard. His chest heaving while 2 arrows have pierced his stomach. His pale skin peeking out from the muddied armor of a crown's guard. Brown eyes wide with a mixture of pain and fear as tumbles of red curled bangs hang low over his eyes. You kind of see after a moment, Kara takes a step forward and then pauses, almost like reminding herself. Then she looks back at you, before eyes kind of looking at the boy and giving a slight nod in his direction. What do you do?
They're like flashes of when they were starting out as mentors, when they were on a good field of green. And for Asani, it's flashing between that and here. And the only point of horizon, the only center is Kara. So as that flashes between them and they see their mentor, what should I do?
You can help him. Whether that be to either way ease his pain. And at this point, she's speaking kind of softly, loud enough for you to hear, but not loud enough for him to hear. Her eyes have shifted so they're on him fully and just kind of offering him reassurance. Whether that be we can save him in this life or you need to help ferry him to the beyond, into her embrace. She kind of just, again, almost like speaking to a skittish animal, her eyes never leaving his. And you can kind of see his brow furrowed with pain. You can see him somewhat relaxing, recognizing that you are wearing temple district clothing and of the city of Jorix, not another raider that's here to possibly finish off the job. But his life, his thread, is in your hands, Astani. She says quietly. You have to learn.
Give me hours to heal and take time to get them back from the brink. I can do it, but this... Oh, all right.
We don't have hours.
I know. And they kind of get down to their level. And Osani is going to... They're going to rely on their past as a healer.
Sure.
And not as... They're not used to that latter part of that conversation that Kara was talking about, usher them into, and they're not used to burying souls. They're going to bring them back from the brink if they can. They're used to that.
Sure.
Okay, they will work for hours, and they're just relying on that instinct. So that first thing would be if they could do a medicine check.
Of course. And to give you time to fill the space as you're doing this, Kara isn't telling you one way or the other whether your decision is incorrect or not. For that actually isn't her call to make. You're in your final weeks. Maybe if you had just started out as a fledgling, she might direct you a little bit more. But she knows you. She knows how you work. She knows the quick study that you are. And she trusts that you will come to some resolution. So she watches. You see, she stays nearby. She's helping another injured soldier. This one far worse than the one that you were currently about to check in on. The soldier she's working on, you can see that his breastplate has collapsed into his chest. So there's actually, it looks almost like it's fused from both fire as well as, again, it looks like this massive hammer took a blow just a few feet away. So you kind of see she's working to ease him into the tapestry. But her eyes are ever so often shifting over to you as this process is kind of quietly happening. So, what does it look like you as you were doing this medicine check, and what did you get?
A 16 plus 8, so 24.
Okay.
It's been a couple of weeks, so it's a little clumsy because they are going into their instinct of a healer, a doctor, a person who's doing the rudimentary checks.
Sure.
And then the manual process of switching over to someone who's looking at the thread.
Sure.
And looking at the ties between that and back and forth. So it's very structured, very skilled to lesson 1 was this. Like, going
Yep.
like, okay, I have to do this because I am this now, not this.
Yep. With this, you can tell with a 24, his legs are broken. He looks like he probably is most likely a little bit concussed. Obviously the arrows, luckily doesn't look like they hit any vital points, in his stomach. He has a vibrant spirit, as you kind of also are innately making that connection. That I think aura or vibe is imperceptibly there. And in fact, you kind of see he's up on his elbows, but he kind of almost leans forward to like grab at your sleeve. And just the will to live, but not only that, the fight to live, grasping, using you to help anchor him. If his wounds were to remain as they are untreated, probably could pass away within a day or two because of sepsis and infection. He's not at death's doorway just yet, but he is haunting the hallway, so to speak.
Methodically, they're just, great, you are strong. You are very strong. There's no need for that. No need to close those eyes yet. You have so much to see. All right, let's go to treating you far from it. Oh, great. And relying on that experience of being a healer, they're going to try and tend to those wounds and those arrows.
Sure.
Immediately.
Go for it.
Another medicine?
Yep, another medicine check. And you can add with this, you can add your spirit with it, because everything you're doing is inherently of the veil and of you. So if you want to add that to the roll, that would totally be fine.
Rolled a 23.
Love that. Okay. With this medicine check, what are you searching for / doing? You mentioned taking care of the arrows.
Yeah, they're stopping the wounds. They're closing up anything that needs to. They're adjusting him very delicately so that he can heal. Mm-hmm. And that the physical, the material issues that could pull him away from death's door is what Osani is going for.
Sure. With this, you see, he does seem to at first kind of fight you ever so slightly, not out of choice. It's almost like reflex because of the pain, right? It is you are taking care of someone who wants to be cared for, but is also innately feeling everything that is broken within their own body, piercing themselves within, and you are taking something that has become a part of them with these 2 arrows. You are able to do that gently, almost like unthreading a needle. You're able to slip the arrows ever so gently out and work to staunch up the wounds. Eyes, his are never leaving yours, and after a moment, you kind of see his brow kind of relaxing ever so slightly, as like the thing that was causing him the most immediate pain, besides his legs, has been removed. Do you have a name? I feel like anything to talk about right now would be great. Name would be great.
Great. You're talking. Wow, wonderful. Oh, Osani.
Stani.
What is your name?
Tommen.
Oh, Tommen. Look at you. Oh, look, big, beautiful eyes. Look at the. Where are you from, Tommen?
Here. I grew up in the fields. Fuck, as he's just kind of like struggling
That's
underneath you.
That's all right. Just if you need to rest for a moment, then you have done what you needed for the day, and I will do what I need. And this is my mentor, Kara.
And he kind of gives like the slightest of nod. You see for a moment he kind of leans on one elbow to like shift and like try to lift the helmet, and he goes, "That's not moving." Okay. It's
Nope, let go of that.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep. Have you done this before? You know what you're doing?
Yes, many times before. But you do not need to worry about that. There's 2 of us here, so if I make a mistake and stitch this arm to that arm, this something wrong, she will yell at me enough. Don't worry about it.
Huh. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Hopefully it doesn't, so I hope you trust me. She's trying to make a joke somehow in this.
And you do catch him in a laugh before he like winces in pain. I don't think I have much of a choice in the matter right now.
Nope, you don't.
Come here often? You see him just trying to maneuver the conversation as much as he can.
Go straight to flirting. Wow.
No, I wasn't. I was simply just asking whereabouts you were from, since you,
Of
but
course.
I could see how it goes that way, though.
Yes.
You are.
Let me heal this first,
Okay.
and then I can tell you where I'm from.
Sure.
But presently, I am from the Temple District. I live here now.
Huh. And, do you like what you do?
I do. I do like what I do. I definitely enjoy. And they're trying not to say hearing someone that they're trying to save, like, talk to them again rather than losing them to the veil.
Yeah.
I think Osani's still in that mode of, if they have passed on, she has failed. as a healer.
Sure.
That mind, it's something that's hard to break, and she's still trying to. So in this moment, she just like looks back at him like, I enjoy my work.
That's, good.
It is a pleasure to serve the lady.
Seems like you're serving her well. I, also like to do what I, do, as he, like, at this point kind of checks his head back and is just kind of, again, all of the pain is kind of the adrenaline from the battle that had just happened. The adrenaline from you healing, because that does take a toll on his body too, as you are mending skin together. All of this is a strain. And you just see him just looking up at the sky. At this point, not a lot of clouds, minus the smoke that's been rising. In fact, it's only a few hours past dawn. It's still early. Half of the city is still asleep. But already there has been so much done today in the spans of this space. I was guarding the gate when we saw the smoke, and it didn't look like normal farmers just setting fire to leaves. It's too early for that. So I was one of the first on the scene of the scouts looking, and it was the hill tribes wanting to, and you kind of see him at this point. He looks over his right shoulder, and one of the closest farmsteads is here. You can see that there are several loose horses and sheep kind of maneuvering through the fields and through the dirt. There are broken fences. You see a small farmhouse, 2-windowed, looks like 1 story in total. Small. Truthfully, probably the size of a classroom at the Vale Temple, for instance. And the door's ajar. You see in front of the doorway is what appears to be a woman slumped against. Arrows dotting her chest. You can see the blood splatter on the door behind her. Face forward, hair kind of hiding her face. And a few feet away, about halfway between the house and the barn, is an older gentleman on his stomach, arms sprawled out, again, almost like a doll that's been just thrown. And you can see that there, at this point, are several spears that are sticking through the back of him. Blood in a pool, almost like a river, trailing from him into the downward slope leading towards the barn, which at this moment you can see there are several plumes of kind of smoke steadily rising. You don't see the fire coming out of the barn yet, but presumably there is a fire that is starting to catch within. Can you roll a perception check for me, please?
Oh, dirty 20, 12 plus 8.
Wonderful. Within this small barn, you hear what sounds like a cry. Whimpering and crying.
Immediately, Arsani is, do you hear that?
Yeah. And you see his face is kind of slowly moved from looking up at the sky to kind of looking over at the barn. And you can see like his body and mind right now are in a war as he can't move, but he wants to. You see every muscle in him like tensing to try and get up. You can see him like starting to lift himself off of his elbows onto his hands and wrists, starting to push upwards before wincing once again and then lowering back down. His legs just not letting him, even though the work you've done on his stomach to remove those arrows and begin that work is at this point almost healed from the skill work that you were able to do. When you do.
I said to rest, didn't I?
Yeah.
Who is in there?
Probably their daughter, if she's not in the house.
Great. That's good to know. Daughter. How old?
I think she's 10 or 11. It's been a while since I've checked in on them.
Then your job here is to rest, and my job is to go ahead.
Okay. You kind of see he relaxes almost like stubbornly down.
Yeah,
like
Osani keeps that stare as they get up, and like their commanding presence of like this tall centaur until he finally relaxes down, and as soon as he does, okay, like there's that nod of like
he crosses his arm like a very like very stubborn child having like some kind of tantrum.
And then to Keira, a child. A young girl.
Go?
Yes, will do. And start heading straight to the barn.
Sure. You can see at this point, as you're approaching the barn, the smoke is in plumes rising out of this thatched roof. And it doesn't take long for you to realize that the back of the barn looks like probably some kind of lamp fell onto the straw and the hay and ignited. And so now these flames are licking up the back of the barn itself, licking along the thatched roof as it's starting to ignite. The door is ajar, as presumably this is where the animals were staying probably a few hours before. But you can see that a portion of looks like a beam or something that was holding up the upper structure of the barn has fallen, basically bisecting it. And this is completely lit up, preventing the person that you are now seeing through the smoke in the back corner of the barn. You see a young girl. She is sitting in the corner, legs folded to her chest and arms wrapped around herself as the barn and her home are falling apart, preventing her from escaping. She does not lift her head up as you approach. You actually see that she kind of shrinks even more so, trying to make herself smaller into the framework of the barn as you approach.
Hello?
More just
Can you hear my voice?
And at that moment, she's shaking, but she lifts her head ever so slightly above her legs, and you see gray eyes that are streaked with mud and tears. There's bits of blood as well. You can tell from this angle she hasn't been injured. It's not hers. But the eyes of a terrified person in front of you, unsure of what to do.
I'm here now. Can you get to me?
She kind of just shakes her head, looking at this massive beam that's splitting the barn between her and you, between her and freedom.
Is there anything behind her?
Just the wall. This portion of the wall, it's the left side of the barn is not ignited just yet. But you can see the flames are slowly making their way against the dried wood.
I think they There's a couple of things that she would do.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of the immediate thing that she would do is race off and jump over that beam.
Okay. Let's do an athletics check then. There is enough space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is interestingly enough, the barn was a little bit bigger than the house, which does make sense for a farm that, you know, is of meaningful means, we'll say.
That is a 14 plus 1.
Okay. The flames lick underneath your hooves, and you can feel the heat under your stomach as you are able to clear, landing in front of her. You kind of see she shrinks back even further for a second, just at the quickness of movement, before her eyes just lock on yours with a silent plead in them. And she just raises her hand up to you.
Up. 1, 2.
Woo!
I don't bestow this honor onto a lot of people, so come. And we'll put them on behind Osani.
Okay. She latches onto you. Tiny hands, not quite able to reach around your waist entirely, so kind of grabbing at your belts to hold in place as you are, if you want to make another athletics check as you are leaping over the beam again.
It is a 13 plus 1 for a 14.
Wonderful. As the barn ignites, where this little girl had just been moments before, that corner now also being consumed by flame, you jump over the beam and make your way out of the barn just
There's
as
this
the barn collapses in on itself.
As soon as it comes down, there's just like 1, 2, and as soon as that barn comes down, they're just like, oh, and great, we did that, and they can't see them as they're riding them behind them. They're just whipping around trying to get like little looks or little glances of like their profile. Like, well, we did it, little lady. Well, that was close.
You can see she has kind of smushed most of her face into your back. She's coughing every so often as well. She has a smattering of freckles across her nose and cheeks, sun-kissed skin that's tanned, black curly hair, a tumbleweed right now on her shoulders, going down to the middle of her back where a tail of a braid remains. She's wearing what looks to be a nightgown marred with dirt, smoke, and blood. Again, none of it hers. She doesn't seem to be injured in any way. Her gray eyes, every now and then peeking out from like being scrunched up, almost like she's wishing so much for something else. Another morning, perhaps, or another wish. That familiar look that you've been seeing now, not only this morning, but across your experience as a fledgling of shock and confusion. She looks like she's roughly between 11 or 12, not quite 10. So
there's a trotting when they're like a little like a bit of happy trotting around and around as they're like take deep breaths, hold on tight. I'll get you to somewhere to lay down and check in on you. Oh, goodness. And there's this like mental notch in like their head of like that they're trying to beat a habit of like saved another one. Great. Well, Hero would be proud. I mean, no, I am, this is not what I'm, no, I'm serving the lady, like.
And you can feel Kara's eyes on you from across the field. Like, she's not far. She's probably like 20-ish feet away. She's not far. And she's still with Tommen, has kind of taken over, and you can kind of see his, at this moment, placing what looks to be kind of pieces of wood to be tied to his legs to help stabilize them until they can probably break them back into proper place. So he's groaning a bit more. I think on the wind you hear, Stoddy, she's hurting me. Like, just like, ow. Just in that pain. But a smaller voice cuts in instead. Are you one of the good ones? Or are you one of the bad ones?
They are like if you had a kid on your back, right? They're seeing what's happening with Tom, and they're just like, you probably did something to deserve it, Tom. And one of the good ones, dear. Why would I? What do you mean?
Well, I didn't know if you were like, and at this point her eyes kind of train on where her father is. And you can kind of see she's just staring at where those spears have kind of pinned him to the ground. I haven't ever met you before, so I wasn't sure if you were one of the good or...
Head down, dear. I am one of the good. At least I hope I am. I'm sorry about your father.
She kind of, after a moment, looks away, but it's like you can see she's saying farewell to a life at such a young age. And she just looks up at you. Why?
I think Osani is feeling so lucky that they are riding behind them instead of seeing their face right now. They're like chewing on their lip. But they like put a hand behind to kind of like reassure the back, like see where they are.
At it. Yeah, she grasps at it.
And just a whisper of like, if one person finds the answer to that, be sure to tell me.
Okay.
Right now, we need to get you safe and check those lungs of yours, see how much smoke you've inhaled, and find you a comfortable place to lay your head.
Okay. She just says, kind of in a raspy voice, and you can kind of see the exhaustion has already started. It's that immediate relief of being safe. You can kind of feel she's starting to slump against you. Okay, we're good now kind of thing. Reassured by you and all of that in this moment.
I think hearing the raspy voice, there was something. Can I do a medicine check to see how she's breathing? Because she's like right behind me, feels like.
Yeah, you can easily do that.
Oh, 13.
13. She luckily didn't inhale a ton of smoke. Probably some rest and just she'll be coughing for a couple of days. But she's not in any immediate danger.
Good. That reassurance just makes Osani like trot faster to where Tommen is and slow the pace and then bend down slowly so that they can easily adjust them into a resting position. Your name?
Liza.
Astani.